as a New York Jets fan, New England, you suck. And I'm not jealous. Why would you say I'm jealous? Just because you have 7 Super Bowl rings and a nice stadium, nice culture, nice fan base, nice organization. I mean, none of that bugs me. I'm a Jets fan. We have
A few moments later.
uniforms. Yeah, we have uniforms. Look at those helmets over there, man. Those are cool. And
A few years later.
we've got we've got we've got a stadium too. I don't know, man. You're probably like, oh, a Jets fan going on the Patriots. Oh man, this is a New England Patriots team that I think is gonna be a polarizing team this year. Drake May going into year number 2. You got an offensive line that's gonna make some improvements. It looks way better than last year, and if they can stay healthy, they're gonna be way better than last year. I'll tell you that right now. Any which way, number 27, New England Patriots. Let's go. Let's vibe into this roster. Why do we have a number 27? What do I think the upside here is? Mike Vrabel, the new head coach of this football team. Josh McDaniels, he's back as the OC. Terrell Williams, good hire as a defense coordinator. We'll talk about the coaching at the end. Let's talk about the roster, though. We start off with the offensive line, which, as I just alluded to, the offensive line will be way better this season. I really think it should be a lot better. It'll be night and day. There are going to be growing pains. You got a whole basically new starting offensive line in general, except for Mike Onwenu, because Cole Strange has been injured. You got Garrett Bradbury coming in, Will Campbell. You got Morgan Moses coming over from the Jets. And this is just the projected starting offensive line. I would say the guys that are going to be competing mainly here are going to be Garrett Bradbury and Cole Strange. Besides that, I think you have 3 locked in starters. I think Morgan Moses, obviously Will Campbell's going to be starting somewhere. Mike Onwenu, those 3 guys to me are starters. It's Garrett Bradbury and Cole Strange. So I am a big lover of Cole Strange, big believer, right? Maybe that's a little bit better way of putting it. It's going to be some competition with his injury history and stuff like that. Hopefully he can stay healthy because I think that when he is healthy, he has gotten better and better. It just, he seems whenever he starts building momentum, he gets injured and then it just deflates everything. Very talented player. One thing to consider, and I think they're gonna really consider this on the offensive line, is like the wingspan on the left side of the offensive line compared to the right side of the offensive line is like night and day. I almost would say maybe you move Mike Onwenu over to left guard, have Cole Strange try to play over at right guard. Maybe that would be a little bit better for it. Who knows? Overall, just gotta find your best 5 offensive linemen. Jared Wilson definitely has a real chance to beat out Garrett Bradbury as well. I think that to me would not be a shocker at all, even though he's super young. He's only like 21 years old. I do think he could really beat him out. In terms of the backups at tackle, you got Caden Wallace. Now, Wallace, I've heard too, is competing at guard. So I wouldn't be shocked if Wallace, who's got a bigger profile than Cole Strange, could be the left guard there. But you got City Sal, Layden Robinson. That's really my guess. Maybe Jack Connolly works in there too as a potential sleeper to watch out for. Those guys are gonna be competing for that left guard position for sure and a roster position as well. Tackle-wise, the swing tackle gonna be veteran low. Demontre Jacobs could definitely earn a spot too at that right tackle backup where he played last season. Ranking tackle 29th in the league, just unproven with Will Campbell. How does he look as a tackle in the NFL is gonna be a big question. Guard at 13. I once again, Cole Strange, a little bit of a bias there, so take it with a grain of salt. Maybe it's a little lower because of that, but for me personally, I love Cole Strange. Mike Onwenu is a really good player, so I rank him at 13th, and you do have some guys at least that can compete there. Center, I have a 26. Mainly, Jared Wilson, I feel confident about that. So the ranking is a little bit higher, even though I'm a little lower on Garrett Bradbury. He's a good run blocker. Pass blocking has always been an issue. You just can't deal with bull rushes. Let's go on to the wide receiving room. This is another area that continues to be a huge. I think this is going to be one of the most interesting training camp battles to watch out for. How does Kyle Williams look? How does guys like Efton Chisholm, Jalen Polk, year number 2? That's going to be Javon Baker, another guy to watch out for immensely. Can he, grow and develop because he's got a lot of talent. This is just a receiving room that's got a lot of unknowns at this point. Stephon Diggs, he's back from whatever he was doing, and you see the whole memes thing. I'm not really into memes too much, but I keep seeing him on a yacht and whatnot with some girls or whatever. I have no idea who they are. So come at, I don't know, man. I don't really keep up with that stuff, but I just keep seeing this picture floating around. And I'm like, Diggs, come on, man. Let's go. Let's get some football action out here. And he isn't on the pup list, so that's good that he's out there, and he should be doing better. Now, unfortunately, Matt Collins is going to be on the pup list from the sounds of it to start out training camp, or he's going to be not practicing and whatnot. So that's unfortunate. Matt Collins really helped out the Bills, especially around the red zone and whatnot. So they could use Matt Collins. They're going to have to fill in with Kayshon Boutte, who I've heard some trade rumors about that. Jalen Polk, as I mentioned, got to step up this year. How does he look with, more experience now? Maybe gets a little bit better on his footing and whatnot. There's a little bit of low ranking for Polk. He's a talented player. Just need to see it, especially going from last year and stuff like that. If you had to ask me who ends up making the roster, I really couldn't give you a full answer. Diggs gonna make the roster. Douglas gonna make the roster. Those are two locks. Or sorry, Kyle Williams as well. So I'd say three guaranteed locks. Mac Hollins more than likely, especially if he's on the puppy, we won't be cut. Evan Chisholm, I hope they keep him. And Josh McDaniels, like that's a Josh McDaniels special. This guy is going to be that short to intermediate king. And the way he moves is different as well. I think he's got some of that Danny Amendola, Iron Man, Julian Edelman sort of vibes to his game. And he was so good at the East West Shrine Bowl. So I hope they give him a chance. If not, hopefully somebody picks him up and gives him an opportunity. That dude's going to be really good. I don't think they'll let him go. I'd be shocked if they did. Butte, as I talked about, I would say he is going to make the roster, but if he doesn't, that would mean that they're going to trade him, and more than likely. I do think they'll move on from Kendrick Bourne, though, this offseason, unless he does something to wow them. Good, solid receiver. At this point, though, I think it makes sense to save a little bit of money and try, hopefully, keep Jalen Polk or Javon Baker or one of those guys, whoever looks better. Tight end, I am hearing who's going to be that number 3 tight end. You got the two guys, Hooper and Henry, very, very good. I mean, Hooper had a great connection. So did Henry with Drake May. I rank him at number 11. That's a good group. I'm not worried about it. You got a great 1-2 punch. It's just who's going to be that number 3 guy. It could be Bell, could be Dupree. It just depends, obviously, because H-back wise, you could have Jaheim Bell or even a Jack Westover. If you're looking for more of an inline guy, you got a Dupree or a Scott. Those guys, keep an eye out on for sure. Running back, rank at 29. I think it's going to be just fine, though. It just comes down to, they have a superstar in there at this moment? No. But they've got 3 quality running backs. Stevenson should bounce back this year with an improved offensive line. Henderson is going to be that explosive element here. And Antonio Gibson. Now, Gibson and Henderson are going to be a little complementary, right? They're both going to be more of the receiving, explosive element, I would say, whereas Ramondre is going to be more of that between the tackles, meat and potatoes, monster guy and whatnot. With the dreads, of course, you got to include that with the flowing dreads. But anyway, it's a good running back room. I'm excited for it. I think Henderson can provide some serious swing, upside, and speed to this room. But Gibson was really good last year. May at quarterback here, may I say, ranking 24. May's going to have a big season ahead of him, not just because, of course, you want to see what he does into year number 2, but because with an improved surrounding core around him, the hope is that he takes that next leap in his progression. He's got all the tools, got all the talent, new coaching here. Hopefully things look better. Wonder Vrabel and McDaniels. Joshua Dobbs, I think, is cemented as the clear backup for this football team. They may only keep 2 quarterbacks as well. On to the defense now. The defensive line looks better than last year. Getting Christian Barmore back will be a huge plus, but then you get Milton Williams over here. Now, I do want to address the elephant in the room with Christian Barmore. I would have him rated a lot higher than this if it weren't for the blood clot situation last year, which that's nothing against him, of course, right? You can't control that. And I think he's going to be back 100%. At the same time, we need to see it. And I think it'll be a quick move up to an 80 plus overall when we see him week 1, possibly even dominate, because I think he's going to. I think he's going to come out really hot and heavy and just explosive as ever, especially in this new attacking style defense that Terrell Williams and Mike Vrabel are going to employ. Milton Williams he's gonna get after it as well. Now, depth wise, who do I think is gonna make the Rockets roster on the interior, which I rank at number 17? Like I said earlier, I think that's gonna be a top 15 unit by the end of the NFL season. I think Tunger makes it as a nose tackle. I think Farmer, and Roy end up making the depth there. And then you have some practice squad guys. Defensive line or edge-wise, I rank it 29. You got Keon White. Need to see that breakout year. That's going to be a big thing with him. Obviously, he's got all the tools as well, the size, imposing size and linear athleticism, explosiveness. Then Harold Landry, he's going to guarantee make the roster. He's going to be their number 1 pass rusher, I think, right away. And White will be competing, I'm sure, for that. Anthony Jennings, do it all, jack of all trades, guys, certainly more than likely ends up making the roster. It would be interesting to say, because like if Chason and Swinton will make the roster, that's a guarantee. But Truman Jones, I guess, could be pushing for a spot too there, maybe Ponder. But I think Truman Jones, good chance he makes the roster. Chason could be the odd man out. Maybe Jennings is the odd man. I'd be shocked about that, though. I think it's between Chason. I think Jones and Chason, they both end up making the roster with Swinton. If they want to keep 6, but I imagine at least 5 guys there. On to the linebacking core here, which this linebacking core looks solid. I really liked what I've watched some film actually on Christian Ellis. Huge fan. I think he is exactly the guy that they need next to Spillane, who Spillane in general is an underrated player coming from Vegas, and even when he was at Pittsburgh was underrated. Now he's going to be that lead dog, right? I mean, he was more the lead dog at Vegas and whatnot, but right now he is the lead dog in this linebacking core and somebody that will bring that veteran presence that this team needs with a lot of young guys like Marte Marpu, Jack Gibbons, Christian Ellis. Ellis, though, with his athleticism and coverage ability, and he's also assault. I mean, he's not the guy like who's going to like block shed a ton off offensive linemen, but at the same time, he can get around dudes and stuff like that and hold his own. But between those two, between Spillane and Ellis, and then Marpu, Gibbons, maybe Cam Riley works into the mold. I've heard some good things out of him. He could make the roster. Jelani Tavai right now is injured, unfortunately, so I think he's not going to be able to participate in training camp, at least for right now. He could end up making the roster. Who knows? They're going to have to let go of one of these guys, I imagine, at least. On to the cornerback room, which looks really good. And Terrell Williams, I imagine, is going to play pretty man. I mean, not fully man coverage, but I imagine they're going to play a good chunk of man coverage in this defense. Hey, look at this group. I mean, you got Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, and Marcus Jones. It's a starting group that looks very scary. That could be a top 5 unit after the season. I think Christian Gonzalez could be a top 5 corner in the NFL very easily after this season. It wouldn't shock me if we're talking about him as a top 3 corner in the NFL after this football season. Carlton Davis, very good corner. Marcus Jones, very good slot corner. Just got to stay healthy, but obviously he gives you special teams ability too. Alex Austin looks to be the 4th corner. I think Isaiah Bolden ends up making the roster. Del Pettis will be interesting because he'll be on the bubble. I do think he'll be on the bubble. So will Bolden. You're gonna have to look at skill sets. What do these guys bring besides just one position? I think Pettis brings you multiple positions. Bolden can play, move around as well. Miles Battle can move around. DJ James, I like James a lot. Will he make it? That's going to be a big question. I think at least maybe I'll throw him a practice squad. Marcus Dial, I think, can make it too because he can do a lot of different roles, especially on special teams as well. So maybe keep six guys in there. They're going to be competing for even Miles Battle is going to be competing for positions. Safety to finish up, I have ranked number 12. I think the depth here is what really helps them out and why my ranking is pretty high. Plus, they've got good football players. Kyle Duggar got to bounce back this year. I think he's going to be better and putting him in more of a defined role that suits him, not in those one-on-one situations, especially in the back end, because that's not really his game. Get him in the box, get him being a playmaker. That's really Kyle Duggar. They didn't do that last year, and he looked terrible. I mean, maybe not that bad, but he didn't look good in my opinion. Just watching the games, he should have a bounce back, right? Let's get back to more of that 2022, 2023 form. Jabril Peppers, good player. He's now been cleared legally, so he should be on the football field. He's a really good football player. Yeah, Jalen Hawkins, Marcus Epps, who I've been hearing has been pushing. I was just looking at Craig Woodson too, and I'm like, I gave him a rating of 6,635. Like, oh my gosh, what is this? The guy, the Hulk or something, or Thanos? I think he's going to give you that 4-way versatility, whether it's playing in the slot, the box, up top. As a linebacker, he can play up in blitzing. I mean, you saw that at California too. So I think that he's going to be a nice piece for them as early on, he'll probably be the 4th, 5th safety in there. And then ultimately, maybe long term, he competes for a roster spot or for a potential starting gig. As of right now, though, I think Schooler, and then who knows, maybe you have to compete with Hawkins and Epps, who's going to be that backup guy. If I had to guess right now, maybe Epps has got the advantage at the moment. We'll see how many safeties they keep because these guys can also play a multitude of roles. Safety room, though, looks really good. I think they'll have a bounce back year altogether with Peppers fully cleared and Duggar fully on page, healthy, and everything like that. And finishing up the team breakdown with the coaching staff, I rank him at 16th, right in the middle of the NFL. And I feel like Mike Vrabel gives you a very high floor in what he's going to be. And going back to his time at Tennessee, he was a really good football coach. Had to deal with some things. Obviously, their quarterback situation was a bit of a mess and ultimately got fired. All in all, I think Vrabel's a very good coach. And I think he's going to come in here and it's not like they're going to need time to, get acclimated or anything. I think they'll be able to hit the ground running, and that's exactly what this football team needs. Josh McDaniels, same thing. I think he'll be able to hit the ground running here for the New England Patriots as the OC with his experience. He's proven to be a good offensive coordinator. Defensively wise, I mean, Terrell Williams, there's a little bit of unknown there with what he's going to be coming over from the defensive line coach for the Detroit Lions. But I do think he's going to at least being, that pipeline for the Detroit Lions, and whatnot. Mike Vrabel as the overall coach. I think just in general, this is a very solid coaching staff that is going to be very, very, very good early on for a altogether rookie coaching staff for this New England Patriots team, if you want to think of it that way. So let me know what you think on the coaching staff, but I'm pretty optimistic about this coaching staff. Is it a little bit too high? Who knows? Maybe with the uncertainty. At the same time, I feel like there is some certainty here, and I feel pretty good about it. So I got this team going 5-12 as their record prediction. It just comes down to the offensive line, the continuity there, getting things together. I think it's going to take a little bit of time since they got basically, a whole new unit of offensive linemen out there. And then the wide receiving core too. It's going to be a little bit tricky. They've improved it, but at the same time, there's still some question marks. Drake may go into year number two. The offense, can they compete right away with some of these more firepower teams? Defensively, I don't have any doubts about the defense. As long as they stay healthy, I think their defense could be a top 10 unit this season in the NFL. Like that to me is not unrealistic at all. So with the coaching staff, do I think they're going to be pretty solid? I rank them at number 27 in the NFL. Let me know what you think. Do you want Patriots fans? Am I too low? Am I too high? And yeah, we'll see how things go, man. It's going to be a cool one, but I'll talk to you guys later.